Fill up.
I drink your milkshake.
You are listening to the Billionaire Podcast Network.
Welcome to Lost in the Maze, number 19. Lost in the Maze is the solo show only on the Billionaire Podcast Network. Ka-ching, bing, 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 did fill her up? It's me, your boy, the first billionaire podcaster, the Daniel Plainview of podcasting, Dalton Pruitt, back with another one of these. I haven't done one in a couple weeks. I have been really slipshod in doing these lately. I never promised that they would be weekly or routine or structured in any way that I would be good at doing this. I started doing the solo show on a lark. As I have everything I've ever done in my life, I just said, well, I guess I'll try doing this and see where it takes me. And it has led to nothing but ruin in my life, making decisions on the fly and whimsically is a bad idea. It sounds fun to be spontaneous in one's life that way, but you know, if you're just making a lot of decisions by the seat of your pants, eventually you find yourself with a negative bank account, and sometimes that can be impressive at times. I remember when I was when I was going through my brain accident one time, I looked at my bank account when I came out of it, and I did not know that a bank would let your account get as negative as mine had. I figured that there would be somebody in the chain of command at Bank of America that would step in and in that account just say, you know what, this we should stop having this having him as a customer, having him as a member of this bank, because this is the most negative that anyone has ever been. But no, they didn't. It was negative and they wanted that money back. So I had to figure out some way to get that paid off. There was also this weird thing that happened where I can't remember. I was worried I got scammed at one point because I was trying to purchase something off of Twitter, now X, formerly Twitter, but at the time it was just Twitter. And I had sent all this money through Zelle, and then I found out I was probably getting scammed by an account called, one of these accounts that's like higher consciousness LLC, who was going to help me open my mind with what I was buying. uh, and so I sent this money and I said, man, this is a good deal, because then I have like so much product on hand. I could take some, sell some maybe. and make a little scratch on the side, pay the, I'll make my money back selling, because this is more than I'll need. So this is actually, when you think about it, it's an investment to get this sheet of, whatever this may have been. And so I sell all this money, and then like realized after like spending money I don't have through Zelle, that this was a scam. And so I panicked because I don't know like what safeguards are in place for Zelle. So I called the bank and just had them close that account so I could open a new one. And so then they closed that account, but then it still just was like showing up as an account I had, and it was like negative $8,888,888 was what it showed in there. And it just was on my banking app. It was like just showing up constantly. And I had no idea what was going on or like what that would mean. Like, what are the consequences of this? Does this show up on anything? Like how does this work? And I just like ignored it for a long time. And then eventually I was like, I gotta take care of this. I gotta like figure out why this is just still here and showing that I owe the bank almost $9 million. So I finally like went to a bank and talked to someone, and they just like the only explanation they gave me was, yeah, that's just what we do when you close an account. Like if you submit like a fraud claim, that's just something we do to safeguard it in some way. And I'm like, you guys got to figure out a better way to do this, because this is just terrifying as a guy who wants to have money, to look at a bank account and show that I owe the bank almost $9 million. It does not instill any confidence in this institution that when I like file a claim due to some sort of fraud, that your solution to that is to just enter that I owe you almost $9 million. That's very strange, but I think I finally got it closed out. And then the new account, I didn't owe near as much, but I did. That was an actual negative balance that had to be taken care of. But who cares? Money's not real, folks. You free everybody. Take the red pill. Take the money red pill on this one. Free your mind. It ain't even real. It's a social construct, right? I'm Marxist. Uh, I get, that is interesting to think about at times, how we've all agreed upon on this system of finance in which it's not necessarily a real thing, but the belief and faith is a powerful thing. You know, you see that in your own life. There's books that are sold about that. The Secret by Rhonda Burt. Excuse me. The Magic by Rhonda Byrne. All these occult books on how to use your mind to manipulate reality, and how believing in something makes it real in your mind, and then will cause then your actions will be dictated by your thought processes, and effectively you are manipulating reality with your thoughts, right? And so if everybody believes in this concept that we have money, then it's very very fucking real, you know. And at its core, at the heart of it, it's not real. It's a, like McConaughey says in Wolf of Wall Street, it's a fugazi, it's a fugazi, it's fairy dust. But we all have decided to believe in this thing, and it is ruining our lives. It's making us really fucking miserable. Because everything is collapsing around us. It seems like, I don't know. I'm not smart enough to know what's going on. I have a feeling that it has something to do with the 2008 housing collapse. That might be the issue, but I don't know. I feel like if there's a situation in which everybody loses all of their money, and for the first time in history, a lot of people cannot pay their mortgages, that there will be overarching consequences that we are not aware of that will reverberate through time, and the ramifications of it will be made manifest as the years go on. So that's what I'm thinking. Maybe is that in 2008 the entire economy went tits up, and then the only people that received any sort of assistance were not people but banks and corporations, and then actual people were just out, on their asses. And so in response to that, we got a lot of these I think, like, I feel like a response to that was a lot more just fake money and fake commodities being created, because anytime the economy like that, I think anytime the economy like that takes a nosedive in that way, you see the rise of more grifters and con men. And who's that, Satoshi Nakamoto, or whoever the fucking guy is, or the think tank that created Bitcoin, like started cryptocurrency. I feel like a lot of these just like completely not real things popped up in response to this. These like inflated pseudo stock markets that people could play around in and do like speculative investing, and now make money that way somehow, and then that goes tits up, and then all those people lose their money. So like I don't know. At a certain point, there'll be a true day of reckoning for all of this, in which the entire system that we've known is destroyed and something replaces it. What that looks like, I do not know. But this is not tenable anymore. That none of what we've been working with is sustainable. But I don't have a solution, and I'm too stupid to know what I'm talking about. I just look around. I'm just aware, and I'm looking around and going, "Yeah, this is fucked." And that's about all I got to offer on that one. As you know, if I was like an anchor at Bloomberg, or see one of these like money TV channels, I'd be like, man, guys, this is fucked up. Disregard anything that the administrations are saying regarding if the economy is doing good or not. This, I'm telling you right now, this is fucked up what's happening. And I don't even know what to tell you. Get your money out of the bank and stuff it into a mattress or something. That's my solution. That's the best I got. It seems like, I mean, it does seem like that, right? Everybody's struggling so much now. But then again, that goes back to the belief system, to mindset. If you spend all your time on the internet and reading all these stories and listening to all these people talk about how their lives are fucked up and they can't pay their bills and they have autism and ADHD and they're depressed and just bitching and pissing and moaning, and then that stinking thinking creeps into your head, and then you start believing that about yourself. Now everybody, it's become like a mimetic thing. It's a meme that has like wormed its way in all of our minds, and so now all of us collectively are in this constant state of turmoil and struggle and suffering due to maybe outside forces, but also maybe just the proliferation of people being pussies, of just people being pussies on the internet about their lives. Because you know this is the land of opportunity, and it's also the land of second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth chances. It's not over till it's over. It's not over till you're dead and buried in the fucking ground. And to admit defeat while you're still alive is but one death, and then the next death will be the physical death, and then the final death will be the last time anyone uh speaks your name or thinks about you. And so you don't want to die while you're still alive, right? So yeah, maybe you have $4 in your bank account. That's $4 more than you were born with. Get out there and stop being a little bitch about it, and do podcasting, do the work that you got to do to turn that around and become and secure your path to financial freedom through podcasting, through posting, okay, through media. Because that's all we got now is media. It's the only way that you're gonna not be exploited by some fucking small like dipshit small business owner or corporation. Because I have no respect or regard for either. I don't buy into this narrative that small business owners are these grand noble people who are fixtures in their communities. No, they are snakes, the same as a corporation, and they're kind of worse because the thing is, a corporation can at least afford to do business. A corporation absolutely can afford to like maintain the business and pay the people on their payroll. Then they should be paying more, but at least they can afford what the goings on of the business. A lot of these small business owners are cannot fucking do that. They bit off more than they can chew, and that they're operating at a loss, and then that gets like the shit rolls downhill, and then it falls onto the shoulders of the like just the workers that are working there, like these poor saps who just need a job, and they got a job at some like small restaurant or bar or cafe or maybe a local grocery store, like whatever it is, and then they're just being harangued by this like despotic fucking American dream ass dipshit who does not like respect the people that's working for them and like abuses them more than a fucking corporation does because there's no like true HR for the business. There's none of that. So everything just feels like it feels very shady and below board. And this guy is on a fucking power trip because he secured a loan from the bank to start something that he just can't fucking afford. So everybody that's working for him is getting underpaid. They're not getting health insurance, and they're getting like abused by their fucking boss. So I mean, fuck all these people. Fuck these like fucking small business owners, and fuck the corporations too. Fuck anyone that is doing anything except podcasting, because that's the only like true virtuous altruistic small business owner. I'm a man of the people. As the first billionaire podcaster, I'm a man of the people. I talk to all y'all. I'm good to my people. We're working in symbiosis as a community, as an ecosystem together to make podcasting better and greater and soar higher than the medium ever could have, because a lot of these shows fucking suck cock. A lot of these podcasts you watch, most things suck. I mean, honestly, most things suck. There's a TikTok guy I follow called Marblehead. I really like him. He's one of these like snobby, like artsy fartsy smart guys. He's got like an MFA or something, and he's anonymous. I don't know who the guy is, but because his the videos he takes, like the visage that you see is just the like a bust of the but I love busts. I love busting. And it's a bust of the Statue of David, and it's this guy who's using that as a filter, and he just like he's just very catty and judgmental and like criticizes everything. And he did a video where it was like commenting on this like thing this woman posted about how she can't pay attention to anything anymore. She feels like she has like a short attention span, and anything she tries to watch or consume, she can only focus on for a few seconds before she's looking at her phone. She just feels like maybe she has ADHD or whatever it may be. And he made a good point. He said it's not ADHD, and it's not that you have a short attention span. It's that by and large, all throughout history, most things have sucked. Most things just suck shit, and you can't pay attention because what you're watching sucks, and it's just not worth paying attention to. And he made an argument where he said, if what you were watching was any fucking good, you wouldn't have this problem. You might instinctually, just out of force of habit, look at your phone here and there, but you would be locked in. And I agree with that wholeheartedly, because most shit does suck. Like if I'm watching, I was just trying to watch this. I was just like trying to watch this new Super Mario Brothers movie because it's on Netflix, and I'm fucking bored. I just was like, I don't give a shit about this. And I mean, it is for children, but it just didn't like. I didn't like it. I didn't like what I was watching, and it was the same experience for me with the Barbie movie. Like I watched like half of the Barbie movie, and like the whole what I saw, I just was like, all right, I don't care. And a lot of this is just like really cringy Reddit ass humor, and and I'm just looking at my phone the whole time. It just is not winning me over at all. And that's not because I have a short attention span or because I'm stupid. It's because what I'm watching sucks cock. And if there was anything good, then I can focus. I could dial in on that. Because if I put on Goodfellas, for example, yeah, I'm in for the next 2.5 hours. I'll watch the whole. I'm like just glued to the TV, and I can't look away. And this is like having seen the movie countless times already. It never stops being amazing. It's never boring. It always grips me, and I'm in on Goodfellas. But with any of the like a lot of this other shit now, it just does not grab me at all. And I'm not gonna go ask a doctor for amphetamines because I can't focus on the new season of Stranger Things. It might just be that Stranger Things fucking sucks. Have you thought about that? Have you thought about maybe the shit that you're watching just sucks ass and you can't focus on it because you're not taking the time to curate any of the entertainment you're consuming. And so you're just like mindlessly like watching shit and binging things that you were told is good because of articles and industry people lauding it, but you're not even believing, you're not even trusting your own eyes and ears at this point, which are telling you this fucking sucks. And then you think, oh, I guess because I can't focus on this thing that like a Variety article told me I'm supposed to like, I got to go to a doctor now and get prescribed the strongest amphetamines that have ever existed. And now I'm addicted to amphetamines. And then lo and behold, everybody's prescribed this stuff. And then who could have thunk there's a shortage? There's a shortage. And now collectively, millions of people are going through withdrawals from amphetamines and losing their fucking minds, all because they were having trouble focusing on the Sex in the City reboot. Which who told you that was going to be good? What made you think that was going to be good? Ridiculous. What I'm doing now is excellent entertainment. This is broadcasting, baby. And speaking of broadcasting, folks, the NFL. Uh, we're doing now a segue. The NFL. A lot of people are upset. A lot of more trad, conservative based, red pilled, Lindy folks have taken umbrage with the amount of Taylor Swift that now inhabits an NFL broadcast featuring the Kansas City Chiefs. And to which I say, who cares? Most of an NFL broadcast is not NFL. It's not football. It's a 3 hour broadcast in which 11 minutes are actual football being played. And then the rest of the broadcast is just like four guys with CTE shouting at each other about stats and players and what they think is going to happen. And then advertisements, Jake from State Farm and the khakis, Pop Tarts, T-Mobile, look at the coverage map. It's good coverage. Just like the Chiefs are doing good coverage on the field, T-Mobile is doing good coverage on America in terms of cell service. T-Mobile folks. And then there's a halftime show, and then it resees. All this stuff is what a football broadcast is. And then it's 11 minutes of that broadcast is actual action on the field. It's actually, so, they call a play, the ball is hiked, it's run or passed or whatever. Somebody gets tackled, stop, back to the Jake and the khakis. You know what I mean? So it's already like this bloated sham of a broadcast. And so who gives a shit that within that they're cutting the like here's the thing. The most famous person on earth is at that game. Like someone who unto herself is multiple industries at this point. Like literally a billionaire from playing guitar and piano and singing little songs and like surrounding her, devoted to her, are like multiple fucking like corporations and industries, and she's just there in a box at the game, cheering on her boyfriend. Of course, they're gonna pay attention to her. It's not a psyop. It's business because it's like such a spectacle that this bitch is there. That this person, this like she carries with her, like she interests me in that she carries with her this like enigmatic mystical quality because she doesn't talk a lot. She doesn't she doesn't say much in terms of her own like opinions or reveal too much about herself. Everything about her is very old entertainment industry. You know what I mean? It's very curated, it's behind closed doors. There's a velvet rope wrapped around Taylor Swift. So we don't know like too much about what's going on in her head or much about her personal life outside of what has been deemed acceptable to show us. So she's like one of the like few just like true entertainment people left that is like just bright and sparkling and also just mystical, mysterious. Like she has this divine quality to her. Whether you like her music or not, there's no denying the fact that she has this like aura that is just magnetic, that everybody wants to pay attention to her, good or bad, like positive or negative. All eyes are on this bitch. And so of course, they're going to show, like, if she's at that fucking game, of course, they're going to devote some time of the broadcast to show you, like, look at her doing TikTok dances up in the box. Because, like, truthfully, if they could, they would just show her the entire game. It would be a reaction video of just her watching the game and just watching her, look at what's happening on the field and seeing her reactions to it. That's what they wish they could do. And honestly, they probably could do that. Like they probably would get better ratings. It's a risky move for sure because it could backfire. I'm not a TV guy. I don't know much about network broadcasting and sports broadcasting, but I have a feeling if you just set up a camera on Taylor Swift watching the game and then just focus in on like the subtleties and nuances of her facial expressions as she's watching the game, and then the spike happens when she gets excited about something, but it's just you're just watching her watch the game. They would probably get like a billion people tuning in to the game to watch that. There should be a separate broadcast of that. I'm very pro whatever's happening in that regard. Just like have a separate broadcast where there's just a camera in the booth showing everybody like what's going on with her and her reactions to what her boyfriend is doing on the field, and do like a play-by-play commentary from her point of view. I fully support that. I think that would reinvigorate broadcasting, and then a billion fat 30-year-old women would tune into that. But they're probably not going to do that. But it's like I don't think there's a psyop happening. I think it's that the most successful, popular, recording artist of all time is attending these games, and so that is, something to behold. And there is, by the way, there is like a wholesome quality to it. Like all these like tradcath fucking like Lindy types are upset about this, but it's like, isn't this what you fucking have been asking for? Is like some bitch who's loyal to her man, like to support her man. Like you're tired of seeing all the like sexy reds and ice spices and shit. It's like this is what I mean. This is literally what you're asking for. Is like some bitch from Pennsylvania like going to support her boy. It's literally like a high school fantasy. It's like just being 15 again forever is what we're seeing, and it's like it's upsetting them because what she makes music for girls. I don't really know what the issue is there. But then again, that's what happens when anyone is that popular and has that broad of an appeal. They also going to have their haters, but it's like Cat Williams said, you need your haters. If you, ladies and gentlemen, if you got 14 haters, you need to figure out how to get 16 before the summer get here. So, that's like the true measure of success is if you have like tons of people that also hate you. I mean, you're doing something right. Because if everyone loves you, then you're not provocative enough. You need a lot of people to fucking hate what you're doing. And I mean, that's my goal with all this is I want a lot of people to like me, but I really want a lot of people to just fucking despise me because that's fun. That's fun. It's fun to be a troll and to be someone who's hated and get that kind of engagement. And that's also how you print fucking money, dude. That's how you print dollar bills because that's what all the grifters do. Shapiro, Matt Walsh, Steven Crowder, Tim Pool, all these fucking guys, they don't have a goddamn thing to say. They're not capable of original thought or being interesting in any way. What they are capable of is being reactionary and incendiary and inflammatory. And more than like, fuck the people, fuck the fans. More than anything, what gets them traction and makes their careers is the sheer amount of people that just fucking despise them and are constantly irritated with what they're doing because it's attention grabbing. That's the thing with the Ben Shapiro, Tom McDonald hip hop raps they did was I think I said this on the podcast we did with Craig, but like I think it's intentionally meant to be absurd so that the people who like it, and then the people who don't really pay attention to that kind of stuff just see this like oddity pop up and are like, the fuck is this? And then just get upset about it and believe that it's like this sincere anthem for what I don't even know what the message is of the song, facts and over feelings and America or what like whatever, but it's meant to get a rise out of people. It's trolling taken to its furthest extent, and it seems to be very profitable, to be a little troll these days. And I am saying that because Ben Shapiro is Jewish. um I will say I find it concerning regarding Taylor Swift that she has so much power and influence in what appears to be legislation now. Because folks, if you follow me, then you know that my ex formerly Twitter account, rest in peace, the account at Dalton Lee Pruitt was permanently suspended because I was having such a fun time using AI to create really fucked up pictures of what she would look like if she was pregnant. And just like I just kept posting them just kind of manically. And that got me suspended. And here's the thing, that shouldn't be an issue under, like, first off, there's like parody laws. I don't think it's ever been illegal to draw like a fucked up drawing of someone. Or maybe I guess it was at one point, and that was the whole issue was like the people versus Larry Flint. was like, I can draw a picture of Nancy Reagan with a cock in her mouth because freedom. And so the judge was like, here, he's right. Ain't nothing in the rules that say you can't draw a picture of Nancy Reagan with a cock in her mouth. And so that was that. And so that's like been one of our protected freedoms for a long time, is, like parody and stuff like that. So I mean, it is concerning that if I just like use AI to make a funny little cartoon of pregnant Taylor Swift being tended to by Donald Trump, and they're both covered in blood for some reason. If that's an issue, then that requires like a White House press conference, which I know like my account was not what caused that press conference. I guess it was the account of ZV Bear, or whomever. I guess it was enough people sharing those like hyper detailed, the really good ones of her getting like tag teamed by the KC Chiefs and Oscar the Grouch. How's anybody taking this shit seriously? That's the thing. The thing that's concerning is they're using terms like deep fake and revenge porn and all these terms that indicate like some material that the person recorded themselves had been hacked and obtained illicitly and disseminated to the public without their consent in some way. That's like the language they're using is regarding that. When in reality, it's like just some guy made a cartoon of Taylor Swift getting, prone boned by Oscar the Grouch, which is not a deep fake. It's not revenge porn. I don't. I hope nobody saw that and thought that she actually did that. I know that the Muppets are treated as a sort of augmented like reality thing. Like anytime they appear in anything, everybody just kind of agrees on the reality that the Muppets and the Sesame Street characters are real. We know who Kermit the Frog is. We don't know the guy with his hand up his ass. We don't care about that guy. You know what I mean? So we all agree on that reality, but I don't think that there was ever a moment that we agreed on, or that they agreed to do a scene where Taylor Swift gets fucked by Oscar the Grouch. I don't think that happened. Now, I could see a world in which they maybe do a duet together, but I don't think that she would ever record anything with the Muppets where she's getting fucked from behind by Oscar the Grouch. But the way people have been talking about it is that, oh, she didn't consent to this picture being made. She didn't consent to this. And it's like, well, fuck, she never had to. That was like, you don't have to get the person's consent to do a fun little cartoon. But she's so popular and powerful and influential that that fucking black bitch in the White House, that press secretary, Jean-Luc Picard, had to hold an actual press conference to express the fears and concerns and anxieties about artificial intelligence, which AI is awesome. I'm very pro AI. I don't know why people are so against. You're telling me that I got a thing now that will allow me to work less. That's a dream. I'm fucking lazy. I don't want to actually have to like do shit. I want to be able to have ideas and delegate them to other people and other things, and then that makes it reality. And so now I don't even need to like contract a human person and work with them and share these ideas and pay them. I just like plug in some bullshit into an AI program, and then boom, it's real. The AI made it. And if it's not what I want, I just keep hitting the button until it makes something close enough. You know what I mean? It's all. It's only going to get better. It's only going to get better unless these motherfuckers take this from us, because they thought they had this great moral panic about a picture of Taylor Swift getting fucked by a Muppet. Insanity. Insanity is what's happening. And it got my fucking account suspended. Now I can't make no money on Twitter yet. I was making money on Twitter, and I had to create a new account. Folks, follow the new account at Dalton Pruitt BPN for Billionaire Podcast Network. Ching, bing, 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 did fill her up. That's the new account, and we're rebuilding it. And hey, blessing in disguise. This new account is not shadow banned. By the way, speaking of the VPN, patreon.com/cornfed with Dalton Pruitt. We got a $5 tier, $10 tier, a $15 tier, and the best of all, the $25 tier, which gets you access to all the same premium episodes and bonus content from the other tiers, all the big bonuses and benefits you get from those. And then you also get the Fraternal Order of Corn-Fed decal after 3 months of being subscribed. So it is effectively $75 for a sticker. I say it's worth it. You know, slap that bad boy on your back windshield. It might help you get out of a ticket. Also, once you subscribe to that tier immediately, you're welcome to shoot me a message with a list of your enemies for whom I will call a jihad upon them. So patreon.com/cornfed with Dalton Pruitt. Tons of premium episodes, bonus contents, a lot of big things coming down the pike. A lot of big things coming to the network that are happening. I'm back, baby. I'm wide ass fucking awake. I'm out of the insanity and back into the grift. In once more into the grift. Do I have my where the fuck is my I have Zins. Okay. Good, I have Zins. Yeah, fucking Amy Schumer's faggot ass fucking uncle is like wanting to pass some sort of legislation against Zins because they fucking do this constantly. Like some new marvel of nicotine delivery technology comes out, and then all these like old ass motherfuckers just start like poo pooing it and saying, "Oh, this is a danger to the teenagers." It's like, bitch, I was smoking cigarettes as a teenager. That was a danger to me. And y'all ain't y'all's asses ain't never done nothing about cigarettes. You never like tried to pass any laws or do anything to take those off the market. You made it like more difficult to buy them. You had to be 18. I guess now you have to be 21, and you taxed them to fucking hell. But you never tried to like pull them off the shelves completely. But now this guy is like talking about getting rid of Zins, and you want a civil war in this country? You want to talk actual civil war? Get rid of the Zins, okay? You may take my liberty, but you will never take my Zins, or something like that. Um, and so yeah, I don't. They always do this, and I always want like what's actually going on? Like what corporation has got their hands in these guys' pockets? Because isn't this like the conspiracy would be that it's like to the benefit of like big tobacco, that there's these like alternatives that hit the market, and and because it's like perceivably a threat to big tobacco, that the big like the tobacco lobby would get involved to try and get them taken away. But the big tobacco owns all this shit already. Like Zyn is a company called Swedish Match that got bought out by Philip Morris. I think is who owns it. It's either Philip Morris or R.J. Reynolds that own it now. So it's the same fucking company. So I don't understand where this like, because I like all these like government fucks. Like I don't think they're acting altruistically or due to any sense of morality. It's a money thing. So I don't know. I'm curious as to like what money is involved, or like what the business like what's the business that's involved. Or maybe it is like a misplaced sense of virtue. Maybe it is like somebody like the one time any of these fucking people are actually trying to do anything good, it's just completely misplaced and just the wrong idea. Where it's like instead of providing any sort of like real tangible help or assistance for anybody, they think that like the right thing to do is get rid of things that people enjoy, get rid of the fun things that people enjoy instead of like helping people financially. We're just going to get rid of the Zens, and then everybody's just going to be mad at us even more. So maybe it is just that stupid. Who knows? Because I work for this. No, I'm a podcaster, but let's say I had a day job in which I sold internet services. The FCC has this program for po folk called the Affordable Connectivity Program, and they've had it for a while. And all it is if you're broke, if you're poor and receive any sort of government assistance like Medicaid. By the way, audience, take advantage of this while you can, because here's the thing: if you receive any sort of Medicaid, SNAP, EBT, whatever, you can apply for this shit, and if you get approved, the government will give you like a it's like a $30 credit to go towards like whatever internet service you have. And so there's all these like internet companies that will honor that, that will allow you to take advantage of that. And then some companies even have their own like affordable internet service where you have to be broke poor to get that service. So if you combine that with the government credit, you essentially have free internet. And it's only $30 per household. That's it. So they provide a $30 credit per household, and they're ending this program in like a couple weeks, I think, like early in February, because they haven't they don't know about the money, or they can't like afford to keep doing it. And it's like, motherfucker, you're sending like billions of dollars to Israel and doing all like spending all this other fucking money on some bullshit, and you can't afford to provide like what should be a public utility anyway to everyone. Because like, dude, like that's what I was talking about earlier, is that look, capitalism's awesome, obviously we all love it, but it has its failings in certain spots. And like this idea that, okay, so the internet, I for a long time I think was like considered a like a luxury of some kind. It was this like cool new fancy thing to have, and nobody even knew what it was or where it was going or what it was going to be used for. But it was this new thing that was starting to connect people more and more, and now it's ubiquitous. Now it's everywhere, and you absolutely fucking have to have it. Like, you can't live your life without an internet connection, which would make it like it's a necessity. So at that point, it's a public utility. So there should be like government options. There should be some way that the government can provide internet for people, if not for free, at least like affordably. Whether it's through corporations or some sort of like government version of the internet, that should exist, and it doesn't because of the pursuit of capital. And so, but they're like getting rid of this program because they don't know if they can afford to keep giving like poor black families $30 a month. It's insane, like how exploited everyone is. Like, just because people are so fucking exploited, and they're just dumbed down. Like, their diets consist of like Arizona iced teas and TV dinners. And so they're not getting nutrition, their brain's not getting what it needs, and they're fed a constant stream of like media and entertainment that's like the entertainment equivalent of Arizona iced teas and TV dinner, where there's no nutrition in any of the art that they're consuming. So everybody's just like, duh. It's just fucking stupid. And so no one even realizes like how exploited they are. No one like really stops to think about like how just completely fucked in the ass they're getting. And they just go about their day to day like, I guess this is just, the way things are. And in they never like really stop to consider the fact that, like, so our own government is going to spend billions and billions of dollars to fight a war that it has not a goddamn thing to do with, and it can't afford to like pay off my student loans or pay for my internet or do any fucking thing to help me. And then I got to go work for a corporation that's also exploiting me. That I got to go work in a job where I'm completely overworked and underpaid, and I'm just getting like fucked in every hole in every direction. And then also I'm not even getting anything nutritious, whether like physical or metaphysical. The things I'm eating and drinking and consuming, all of it across the board, is just junk food and syrup and saccharin. And now I'm like functionally retarded because of this. And maybe that's what they want. Maybe that is the conspiracy. I mean, when we had GI Chase on the show, that was his food conspiracy he talked about, was like in so many towns and cities. The only like access people have to food and nutrition is garbage. Like all they can get is like straight up processed bullshit that's making them fat and lazy and fucking stupid. And he made a point where he said like that they are, the conspiracy is like they are dumbing down and fattening and just slothifying, if that's a word, the population, so that we never cause a fuss and never have two words to say about fucking anything and are incapable of doing so. Most people are incapable of even like thinking about this stuff, let alone putting it into words, let alone putting those words into any sort of meaningful action or activism. And so I mean, maybe that's the goal. Maybe they are trying to just like keep us completely under their fucking heel, so that we never realize that like we are getting like, and also along with that, we're always just like fucking fighting with each other. Like anytime the argument comes up that like maybe life should be easier for us, there's like tons and tons of the conservative like right wing types who are like, "Fuck you! How dare you like dare entertain the thought that the government should ever fucking help you with anything? Pay off your own fucking student loan. You should. Oh, you got an underwater basket weaving degree. What'd you think was gonna happen? All these types of people. And it's like, how why not? How about well, hey government, I'm paying your fucking bills. I've been doing that every time I pay taxes. How about it's time for you to pony up and pay off some of my fucking debts? All right? I don't think I'm being entitled asking for that. If you're going to pay off the fucking debts of foreign nations and bail out these fucking banks, maybe you should like help me and help my fellow comrades. I'm communist now, Marxist. But they got us all fighting with each other instead. Like that's the goal, is like this controlled opposition where they've just they have us in a total state of like hysteria and confusion, where we're all just like swinging haymakers at each other and shouting and hooting and hollering at one another, instead of like looking up to the real issue, which is that they're just like fucking us, and they're like showing it off too. I mean, like, remember during COVID when they shut everything down and all of us were losing our asses, and then they just kept broadcasting the fact that like all these fucking people were having lavish, extravagant parties, with each other, having like eyes wide shut parties. And that was one of the things that kind of sent me over the edge when I lost my mind. Was I was looking at all these pictures and footage of these people in masks at these events where like they were still masked up, but at the time we were even being told not to even go be around each other even in masks, right? And so but I would see these like pictures of these people in masks, and so I just like was focused on their eyes, and everyone's eyes looked so like sinister. Like it looked like there was just this malevolence hiding inside, like right inside of their eyes. And it was like I would look at this shit, and it was driving me up the fucking wall, because I was like, Nancy Pelosi might actually be drinking like the blood of babies. She might be drinking baby blood, is what her eyes are telling me right now. And I need to go knock on every door in my neighborhood to let them know that Nancy Pelosi is, in fact, a vampire. And that's how you wind up in the hospital. But I mean, yeah, that's who these people are, and they've got us in a tizzy. Isn't that crazy how everybody just kind of forgot about COVID? Where now the only people who really talk about it are just, it seems to be like extremists, like people who are really really extreme and radicalized. And so it's kind of disregarded by a lot of the population. Like if somebody's still complaining about what happened during that time, it's like get over it. And it's that I am like shocked at how quickly the psyop was able to get us to just like put that away, to like shelve that entire experience in our minds and move on to the next thing, because that was years of our lives that was taken from us. in which not like we were constantly being told like conflicting information and news and what was going on, and the entire like people completely lost their life. Like if you didn't die, a lot of people still just were get like completely fucking losing their livelihoods and getting fucked up during that entire time. And then they jingled some other keys in front of us with like something else. I think it was like the Ukraine thing popped off, and it was like, oh, okay, we're on to the next thing. And so now, if you talk about any of this shit now, you're seen as like just some sort of extremist. Where if you're talking about like what, okay, so what are the long term effects of this vaccine, or the long term effects of economically what happened during that time, or what are the studies they're going to be doing? What are the ramifications of that happening? Those lockdowns, all of it, psychologically, physically, all of it. That's Dan Bongino. That's Alex Jones shit. That's those kinds of guys. And then if you're still masked up and concerned about all of it, that's just you're just that is crazy. That is actually nuts to still be like masked up and wearing gloves and measuring the air and getting boosters. That's fucking psychotic. I'm more on the Bongino, Alex Jones, Tucker Carlson side, where it is like, yeah, we should be like asking questions about this because that was like a fucked up thing that happened, and everybody seems to have just like kind of moved on from it. Nobody, no, like there was no time taken for us to collectively debrief from that experience. It was just like, all right, chop chop, get back to work, everybody. There's a war on, and then just more crazier and crazier things have kept happening, and now it's been like filed into conspiracy territory where anyone who dares even still talk about it is a wackadoo. But it wrecked me. I went fucking nuts during that time, and I lost much more than a lot of people. So, fuck, dude. I mean, it's just like we're constantly being yanked around by all these like big events and crazy, just all this insane shit that keeps happening, and we're in a constant state of whiplash and discombobulation. And so we can't orient ourselves in any real way. We're just always confused, which is kind of like one of the methods of control that more totalitarian regimes have used, which is keep your citizens, keep the people of your country in a constant state of delirium so that you can maintain power and influence and do just like whatever you want to do. And so I like if we are to enter the conspiracy corner, enter into the psyop chamber, I I don't think I'm the first to say this. I think all of this country, our government, all of it is a more totalitarian regime masquerading as a democracy, as a of the people, by the people, for the people outfit, when in reality it's just these people at the top that want this power and control, and they've used every trick and spell that they have available to them to keep us just like docile, either docile or fighting with each other, and so they maintain power. And then you can't get your internet for free no more, or for cheap. You got to pay the full price for your internet. That's I guess that's the whole argument there. That job's gonna fire me anyway. Um. Anyway, folks, this has been a good one. I'm back. This is a solo broadcast. I think it went well. I hope. I feel like I've like exposed a lot of myself lately. Like I talk a lot now because I'm doing like all the other podcasts, and I do live streams and titty videos, and I'm constantly posting. A, always BBP posting. Post your way to financial freedom. Post podcasting and posting is the economy now. It's a whole economy of podcasting and posting. There's nothing left to build. There's nothing left to do. It's we all have to exist in cyberspace, in the media, as posters and podcasters. Look at that fucking guy, that fucking old boomer dipshit retard fucking grifter Catturd. That guy, I'm so fucking mad. I just started looking into this dude. I'm so pissed off that he has achieved the success he has as a grifter. Because at least with a lot of these guys, they're interesting. Like they at least are interesting to some degree. And granted, the top dog, the granddaddy, the goat is Alex Jones, obviously. And for the longest time, I like really hated Ben Shapiro just for the fact that he's fucking boring. You know, he doesn't have a lot to say. He's not that interesting. His voice sucks, and he doesn't offer any like anything fun. It's just like stating facts and his own opinions, but there's nothing. There's not a lot there. But kudos to him for at least doing a few broadcasts a week. This fucking Catturd dude has like 2 million followers on Twitter, X, formerly Twitter, and he's like being hailed as this mind now that is to attention is to be paid. You should pay attention to Catturd in some way. I was scrolling through his feed. He doesn't fucking say anything. It'll be like a post of this Taylor Swift thing where it's like some headline about Taylor Swift, and then Catturd just quote tweets it with the vomit emoji, and then it has like 30 million views and 100,000 likes and all these comments, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? This motherfucker is just the most wet blanket dipshit boring fucking grifter I've ever seen. It like genuinely pisses me off because I have no qualms with any reactionary fucking like dumbass political grifter. Get your money, hey, you got to get your money, and if it at least has some entertainment value. Like as despicable as I think Tucker Carlson is, he did the Kevin Spacey interview, which fucking got me. I was like, okay, well, this is entertaining. This is fun. It's psychotic, but it's fun to watch happen. This fucking Catturd dude is just like literally saying like he'll post something that just says "Good morning X." He doesn't even call it Twitter anymore. He's not even cool enough to call it Twitter. He has bent the knee and he's calling it X, and it just says "Good morning X." 10 million views. So what the fuck is going on with this guy? How is he so attractive to people when he's not even boasting any clever his hot takes or anything? It's just if he's offering any sort of opinion, it'll just be like a video of Biden, and then he goes, "This is bullshit." 30 million views. What the fuck, dude? Fuck you. It bothers me to no end that we let this happen. That we let the once great art form of grifting be infiltrated by this just incapable of original thought, fucking uninteresting, dry, just dumbass boomer. Just this absolute puddle of a person has succeeded at grifting. He should have been cast out from the grifting community, but no, he is won as a shit poster. So maybe the solution really for everybody is just post anything and everything all the time, because that seems to be what he did. He just posts like thoughts he's having without even like trying to make them seem clever or interesting. It's just it'll just be like, well, another day in clown world, 40 million views. What the fuck, dude? All right, you get my point. I hate Catturd. A jihad upon Catturd. And